Hi, Terry here. I'm a little more awake today than I was yesterday, and I'll try to stay on topic as much as I can. I did start yesterday to tell you that I was going to a meeting, one that I had scheduled over a month ago, and I thought it was yesterday. In fact, it wasn't yesterday, it was today. So, yesterday, halfway there, I realized that I had put the wrong address into OnStar, my GPS best friend. I have no sense of direction, none. And even though I'm going to some place that I had been to 100 times before, I still put the address into the GPS OnStar because that way I know I'll get to the right place. Except when I put the wrong address in. And that's what I realized halfway there today, the right day. I put in Canosa Street, and I was supposed to put in Canosa Avenue. And when my GPS took me to a neighborhood of private homes, I realized what I had done. So I pulled over, took out my phone, put in the right address on the avenue, and still got there in time because I always give myself extra time when I'm heading out to an important meeting. And this was an important meeting. This meeting was to renew my will and set up a trust. Things that I never thought about having to do alone. And it was tricky, but I found a good lawyer in a nearby city, and she talked me through the information that she would need to set up these forms. So I took care of the will, I took care of the health proxy, and I set up a trust. And the trust is an irrevocable trust because that way, if I need to go into a nursing home, which could be likely at some point in my questionable future, I won't put the risk of losing the value of my house to the state through probate or whatever that's called. And I will be able to leave the house as an asset of its value for my kids and grandkids. So that's what the meeting today was all about. And I got that paperwork done with the lawyer who sat there and typed it all into her computer and then sent me a copy. And I will go over that information with my daughter and son, hopefully through the next week or so that I can get back to the lawyer and get the will taken care of. Rick and I had a will years ago, but most of the people in it that would have been guardians for our very young children and then grandchildren are gone. So it really needed to be done. So I got that done today, and I'm very happy to have been able to do that. So yesterday, even though I started to go to that meeting, that wasn't, I did have something scheduled. I had a trade school honors ceremony. I give scholarships to kids who pursue manual trades or something that will benefit the community they live in. And I give a scholarship to a local Georgetown High School graduate. I give one to Whittier Voc-Tech, which is the new school that replaced Haverhill Trade, where Rick graduated as a manual worker with a trade degree in metal fabrication. And I give one to Essex North, which is another vocational school where kids, it used to be called Essex Agricultural, but it's expanded now to many majors beyond agriculture, but still has agriculture, horticulture, husbandry, etc. And there's one more. Oh, and one more is Landmark, the school for kids who are challenged with learning differences. They too have to work really hard, and they deserve to be recognized. just like kids who are going on to college. So that's what I try to do, and I've done it every year since Rick died. The first few years I did with what was left after his funeral to his life insurance policies. And when that ran out, I began collecting donations when I started giving away the fabric in my fabric store because I closed the store. So for every yard or 10 yards of fabric I give away, I pay the state sales tax on that because that's all fabric I bought, tax exempt. So I make sure that I pay the state the taxes I would have paid when I bought it. And I feel good about that because that's contributing to the state coffers. And my friends and walk-in customers who come in and want fabric to work on charity, that's what I specify. This is free fabric if you're working for charity. And they're very happy to get that. And I'm very happy to pay that amount of sales tax and get caught up with the state. So things are working out fine with that. I had something else I wanted to talk about too, and I wrote myself a note because yesterday it was so disorganized. And one day this week, I went out with my sister and another friend and a special friend who was turning 90 this week. And happy birthday, Nancy. She turned 90 years old. And do you know, she still comes and picks me up sometimes to go out for a brunch or a breakfast or a lunch. She still drives. She's very with it. She has a perfect sense of direction. I have none. I'm dependent on my OnStar GPS. She's learning to use hers on the phone, but she remembers directions by remembering buildings. She pays attention to what she's driving past, and she admires all of the especially yellow houses. That's her special thing. So happy birthday again, Nancy. And that was a nice way to spend a day this week. And otherwise busy, but less busy than the weeks that I was working on getting the house ready for the new floors. Things are beginning to calm down. I can start or continue with the downsizing of collections. It pains me to call them clutter, so I call them collections of all the things I've collected over the years. I put them out on the table in front of my house. I put a sign up that says free, and people stop by and gradually they disappear. So another good thing happening. And what doesn't disappear, I'll put those into a box and I'll take them to Savers, where people will be able to pick and choose what they want there. So that's my news for the day. Oh, and we do have a new pope, an American bishop, an American cardinal, Pope Leo XIV, and he's from Chicago. So I am happy for him. He seems happy in the position. I hope he's as progressive as Pope Francis has been for the past 12 years. And I like that his first public statement was, "Peace be with you." So I'll add that tonight when I close this podcast. I'll remind you to take care of yourselves, take care of any others that you can, and peace be with you. Be well. Good night.